All right, good day, everyone. Super excited to have us here. A very big welcome to everyone that is live. We are going to be having an amazing time together, always guaranteed. Please note that this session is being recorded. Everything I'm saying and everything that you are going to be saying will be made available for replay purposes. So you are welcome to our family meeting live. This was supposed to be done yesterday, but for whatever reason, the network just wasn't friendly. But we have commissioned our prayer band people and they did some kabashing today. And we are trusting that the network is going to be really, really favorable because what we are discussing is actually very important. It's one thing to read and it's another thing to remember what you have read. If you read something, as at the time you need the information, you cannot retrieve it. It's almost as if you did not even read it. So we want to talk about boosting your memory power, how to understand and remember more of what you read. If you are here on this live, you know that you have issues with remembering stuff. Just type, I am here, I am here, I am here. I want to be sure that I'm talking to the right people. I know you came live because you need solutions in this area. So just type I am here for me to know that yes, yeah, Victoria say I'm here. Some of us we get into we leave our you can leave your parlor, go to your room, you are looking for something, you get into the room and you forget why you even went there in the first place. You read something after 48 hours, everything is gone, 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 gone. So we want to be able to deal with that tonight. Want to be able to deal with that tonight. And thank you, Temitayo. Just so that we are not here saying that you are going to remember everything, but at least we want to be sure that you are able to remember the things that are actually very important to you. So by the end of this session, we want to be sure that you understand how the memory works, how to apply key learning principles like spaced repetition and active recall to boost your retention. We also want to be sure that you understand how to connect new information to existing knowledge for deeper understanding, connecting what you are just learning now to something that you already know. We also want to be sure that after this session, you learn how to improve focus and concentration while reading. We also need to be sure that you know how to use some tools and some apps that can support memory and comprehension. We want to be sure that you can remember everyday details like names, items, where they are kept. We want to be sure that your next public speaking engagement, you'll be able to stand and speak even without using a script because you are going to learn some things that will help you to be able to do that. So be rest assured, 100% guarantee that by the end of this session, everything we are seeing here will have been covered by the end of this session. All right, so we are going to start with understanding the human memory. I was talking to a parent yesterday. They called to sign up. They called to sign up their child for our academic coaching program. And then I was just having a chat with the dad. And one of the things I said so many things, but one of the things I said was that the school expects us to know some things, but didn't actually teach us how to know those things. For instance, you are in school, you are learning. The school expects you to remember what you are being taught. That's why they set exams for you. They want to know how much you have learned. So they expect you to remember, but they don't teach you how to remember. They expect you to focus, to concentrate. They don't teach you how to concentrate. They expect you to take very good notes, but they don't teach you how to take notes. The only thing I learned about taking notes is the teacher is writing on the board and then you are writing your notes. The note taking is a skill, journaling is a skill that needs to be learned. They expect you to pass exams, but they don't teach you how to conduct yourself during exam, how to prepare for the exam. There are things to do before, during, and after exam. You know, So there's a lot that we're expected to know, but we're not taught how. That's why I would always say that learning is good, but learning how to learn is more important. And it has become 21st century most important skill, because with it you can actually learn any other, you can achieve any other thing. Once you learn how to learn, you can achieve any other thing. So the human memory or the human memory is part of your brain, is inside your brain. It's a part of your brain that helps you to take in information, to store them, and bring it back whenever you need it. Simple English. So there are three key things there. It helps you to take in information, helps you to store them, and then helps you to bring it back where you need it. One of the major reasons why so many people will not remember is because the way they stored the information was not proper. That's why they cannot remember. Please just give me 1 minute. This is a very important. Please, sorry, hold on for me. Hold on for me, please. It's a very important call. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Super sorry about that. My dad is in the hospital, so I got a call from there. I needed to respond. Fantastic. So I said that human memory is the part of your brain that helps you to take in information, store it, and bring it back when you need it. One of the major reasons why so many people don't remember is because it was not properly stored. Thank you, Temitayo. One of the major reasons why people don't remember stuff is because the information was not stored properly. There are some things that you will never forget. There are some things you will never ever forget. You won't forget your name, all things being equal, you won't forget your phone number, your account number, maybe your birthday date, stuffs like that, wedding anniversary. Why? Those information are probably stored. We want to be sure, thank you, Victoria. I want to be sure that in as much as we cannot remember everything, that we are able to remember the things that are important to us, so that anytime we need them, we can really easily retrieve them. So I need to think of it like your memory. Think of your memory like a mental filing cabinet or a computer hard drive. In fact, that's where the word memory came from. Remember all these devices that we used to store important data? We call it memory card and all of that. So that word memory card is from memory. It is used to store information. So it helps you to keep track of things that you have seen, things you have heard, things you have read, and then of course the things that you have also um, have experienced. So if you are going to be able to remember stuff, you need to know how the human memory works. I was telling that my parents my parent clients, I said, how can somebody go through primary school, secondary school, and university, and they never teach you about the human brain, never teach you about the memory? Like primary, secondary, university, you are there because you need to learn, and then the center of your learning, which is your brain, your memory, you know nothing about it. Like it's an irony. And this part of the reason why we are passionate about what we do, because we believe that there are factors outside classroom teaching and school environment that can actually hinder students' academic performance. If we are not being taught these things while we're in school and we're expected to learn. The question is, how do you expect us to learn effectively? So the human memory, like I said, you need to understand it if you are going to be able to remember stuff. Thank you, President. There are three stages of the human memory. The first stage is what we call the sensory memory. We have the short-term memory, and then of course we have the long-term memory. So when you see something, like I'm saying, when you see something, maybe you are in a public transport, you are going to work, and you see a signboard. The first contact with that thing that you saw is the sensory memory. As I'm speaking to you now, the first contact to you hearing and understand what I'm saying is happening in the sensory memory. But that lasts for about 2 seconds, just about 2 seconds. You can be driving or say you're in a public transport and then you see a signboard, and immediately you pass that signboard, you have forgotten what you saw. That's because you engaged only the sensory memory. The short-term memory can hold information a little longer, but if nothing is done about it, the information also will be lost. But you see, we have what we call the long-term memory. It is the mainstay of the memory system. Whatever you're able to transfer to your long-term memory, there's every tendency that you'll be able to remember them even for a lifetime. So I've already explained it that essential memory is your first interaction with any kind of information, whether it's something that you saw, something you read, or something you experienced. It only lasts for a few seconds. So you think of it as a snapshot that your brain quickly decides whether to keep or discard. You can see a particular billboard, let's say it's a church program, and maybe the title or the guest speaker gets your attention. The first time you saw it, you have engaged quickly your sensory memory. Now, if that program, let's say that church program, you're not interested, the topic is not your thing, you don't know any of the guest speakers, you just move on. 1, 2 seconds, that information is lost. But if that information is important to you and you begin to say, wow, oh, so and so speaker is coming for this program, I would really love to be part of it. You are engaging your sensory memory now, your short-term memory, sorry, because you start asking questions, you start thinking about that particular stuff. So how long you think about it will determine if that information will be lost at the short-term memory or if it will eventually get to the long-term memory. So the short-term memory, also known as the working memory, is a stage that allows you to hold a small amount of information temporarily. So without repetition or meaningful connection, information here also can also fade. But the long-term memory, like I already said, information that is repeated, deeply understood, or connected to prior knowledge moves here, and it is the brain's permanent storage. So the idea is simple. We want to learn. How do I take important information? Thank you, Mr. Godwin. You're welcome. How do I take important information? How do I move it from the sensory to the short term and, of course, the long term memory? So there are some tips, there are some strategies, there are some principles that we are going to be sharing just to be sure that we're able to do that. But there are different types of things that people would really like to remember: personal information, work related information, books that they are reading, health and fitness, maybe hobbies, personal interests, important dates, very important, financial information, social connections. You want to see people and you're able to recognize them because you have met somewhere before, practical life skills, and of course, memories and experiences. These are different things that people will really like to remember. Moving on, we need to talk about the forgetting curve before we now start talking about solution. So the forgetting curve, in case you are hearing that for the first time, talks about why you forget what you read so fast. What is the forgetting curve? Is a concept developed by German psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus in the late 1800s. Shows how quickly we forget information after learning it if we don't remember it. This curve simply explains how we forget stuff when we don't do things intentionally to remember them. So what happens? How does this work? I'm talking about the forgetting curve now. The first thing that happens is that right after learning, you remember 100%. If you are paying attention now to this session that we are having, you are paying keen attention, you are writing. By the time we are done, this is a master class, so don't joke with this session we are having. It's a real teaching program. Um, you're paying attention, you are writing. There's every tendency that by the time we are done, I'll ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions, and you'll be able to answer all of them. But within 20 minutes, you have forgotten about 40%. So it's already 8:50. We started 8:30. The idea is to end this live by 9:30. By 11:30, you have forgotten already. Sorry, by let's say we end by 9:30. By 9:50, you have already forgotten 40% of what we discussed. The next 1 hour, that is by 10:30, you have forgotten 60%. Then the next 24 hours, tomorrow, by this time, 70% is gone. 1 week, you might only remember 10 to 20%. And those 10 to 20% of stuff you remember will be based on the fact that maybe a story that was shared, an important lesson. I did a 3 days ministerial conference. And if you ask me, maybe I'll tell you, well, there are so many things I learned, but I can mention 1, 2, 3 things that really, really got my attention that I'm already working on. That's how it works. So that rapid drop is what we refer to as the forgetting curve. So why does this happen? Your brain is always trying to clear out useless information so that it can stay efficient. It's not like your memory is not like a normal memory card. When you store something to a memory card, it will remain there. It will remain there for life, except you delete it from the memory card. If you don't delete it from the memory card, it will remain there. But the way the human memory functions is constantly looking for a way to get rid of information that is not important to you. So your brain is always trying to clear out useless info so that it can stay efficient. Some of us right now, there are so many information in your brain that you don't need. You need to get rid of them because those unwanted stuff, they're actually hindering your ability to remember stuff. Let me give you a practical example. And most of these things are actually in the negative. As a coach, as a student expert, academic expert, I have had sessions with students, not just students, some of them even private individuals that are full grown adults, and they have serious issues with forgetting. By the time you begin to dig deep, you see that some of them have had really traumatic experiences. Some of them have been sexually abused. Some of them have been, emotionally, they've spoken to them, verbally abused. Yeah, that's the right word. Some of them are hurt. They have unforgiveness in them. And it's taking a huge chunk of the memory space in their brain. This thing about forgiveness, when we talk about it, it's not just a spiritual thing, it's also mental. Let me put it that way. So let's say, for instance, my memory is more than that, but let's say my memory is 100 gig. It's more than that too. They said human memory is more sophisticated than even the computers that they use at NASA. But the point I'm trying to make is this. I'm giving an example. Let's say my memory is 100 gig. Then somebody has offended me maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, but I can still remember it like it's yesterday. And when I remember it, I still feel hot. People talk about forgiving and forgetting. We don't forget. We don't forget. Somebody hurt you, even your wife. You can remember 2, 4, 5 years something that they did. But how you are forgiving is how do you feel when you remember that stuff? If you can remember something that somebody did wrong and you just smile about it and move on, there's every tendency that you're forgiving that person. But when you remember it and you still feel that hurt, like it just happened or it happened yesterday, there's still unforgiveness there. You see that particular thing we're talking about right now, it can take up to 70%, 70% of the space in your memory. And then you are not trying to battle with 30% in order for you to remember stuff. That's what we are talking about. That's why unforgiveness is something that you really need to deal with headlong. You cannot allow it to take memory space. You cannot allow it. So if your brain thinks you don't need that the information, it doesn't even bother saving it. So you are the one that would let your brain know that, hey, this thing is important. That's why we say that repetition, engagements are so important. When you are reading something, both of us can be reading the same book. By the time they ask at the end of the book, what did you learn? I'll say something different. You will say something different. Why? Because our exposures are different. Praise intensity is well, unforgiveness. It's not a joke. Like I said, it's not just a spiritual thing, it's really mental. It's taking a some people cannot learn effectively because they have unforgiveness in them. Yeah, Victoria Igwe, you're correct. I like the fact that we're engaging in the comment section. It means that we are following through with what we are discussing. So we talk about repetition and engagement. I was making an example. Two of us are reading the same book, but by the time we are done with the same chapter, what I learned is different from what you learned. Our exposure are different. Our growth level are different. Our ability to what the way we understand is different. Then, especially what is important to us at that time is also different. My mind, I'm trying to achieve something else. You are trying to achieve. So the book will be speaking to us in different ways. But the point here is simple. When you are reading a book, reading your Bible, reading any type of book, and you come across information that gets your attention. Don't say Coach Harry say we should read one book in a week. And you're just going like that. No. Pause there. Sometimes I even close the book. Close the book, stand up, walk around, just thinking about that particular thing. Once you do that, you are telling your memory that, hey, this matters. This part of this conversation is really, really important to me. So, how do you beat this forgetting curve? There's what to do before reading, during, and after reading. Before reading, make sure you have a clear purpose. See, you don't have the whole time. We are not here to if you read 100 books this year or 50 books this year, you are not doing it because you want to show off. You are doing it because there's something you want to achieve, you want to learn. Do you know, yesterday I was on the streets for the first time. I was on the street, me and myself and my team. We went to do what we call street interview. We're just talking to random people about their reading habits. And it was beautiful. It was my first time. I was the one talking to them while my team were doing the videos. So I asked them questions like, okay, this is May 2026. How many books have you read? What's hindering you from reading the way you really like? Do you prefer audio book to hard copy? Stuff like that. Oh, I was going somewhere with this, so I hope I still remember. Let me not forget that line of thought. Okay, yeah, I remember. So I asked them those questions. Some of them gave God's audience, others rejected, which is okay. But this is the point I'm trying to make. I got home and I was watching the replays of the video. Like I said, it was my first time. The mic I was using requires me to talk to it, and then when my the person I'm talking to needs to talk, I need to pass the mic to the person. But because my first time, I didn't know. So sometimes the audios were not very clear and all of that. First impression is always like that. So, but as I was watching those videos, I began to now remember. I began to remember some people that I'm following. Like, for instance, I follow School of Hard Knocks, very young guy who interviews billionaires globally, travels all over the world, just interviewing billionaires randomly, bump into people, gets to know that this person is rich, then he asks them some questions. And I now began to observe the way he carries himself, the way he talks. These people don't have time, but and the kind of questions he's asking, the follow-up questions, it dawned on me. I said, no, because what I did or what we did yesterday, Sunday, is something that I would like to continue. In fact, a thought came to me today that it's not just, I'm not going to limit it to just street interviews. At some point, I'll start locating or targeting very influential people, maybe go to their office, go to their homes, and, do 10, 15, 20. minutes interview with them, just talking about their reading habits. We want to use it to create awareness for educational purposes, just to inspire Nigerians to read. So it dawned on me that I really need to go and learn how to ask questions. Do you see that? So I wrote that in my diary, in my phone diary. Once I'm done with this live now, I'm going to go live and start searching for books in that regard. Do you see that? In fact, I think Larry King is late now. I don't know. I might be mistaken. I think he's late. I used to work with CNN. I think he has a book. He's a very good host. I think on CNN. Please remind me if you know Larry King. I've seen one of his books, so I wrote his name. I'll go and search for it. Why? I'm trying to. I I must have a purpose why I should read any book in that direction. If you are going to beat the forgetting curve, you are going to remember stuff. You must have a clear purpose. Why are you Why do you want to read this book? See, at the initial stage, when you just start, developing a good reading culture, let's say you meet somewhere like Ochari, and then I begin to recommend, oh, this month, like we have a mentorship group. We say this is the book we are reading this month. You're just trying to build a reading habit. Please go ahead and read those books. But it gets to a time, you also begin to know that I can say, oh, we are reading a book on this, but that's not what you really need at that time. Please feel free to go ahead to read the book that is answering pertinent questions in your life. You are struggling with sales and marketing your business, and you are not going to read book on marriage relationship. So you have to have a clear purpose. Then you preview the material, activate prior knowledge. Ask yourself, are there some things that I already know about this subject that I am actually reading? How to be the forgetting curve, what you do during the reading, visual encoding. It has to do with your imagination. Make sure that you engage your imagination when you are reading. Chunking information means reading words in groups. It also helps. Note taking, very important. Note taking is very, very important. Remember, I will talk about engagement as one of the things that you need to do in order for you to remember stuff. So when you are reading and you are writing what you understood, it helps you to remember. And it has also been proven for a while now. I've not been doing what's it called? I've not been doing I've not been journaling, like writing with my pen and my notes for a while now. I've been using my phone to take notes, my Google Drive, can easily organize it, and I'm very sure that I can have it for a lifetime. But it has been proven over time that script writing with your pen and a note is more it solidifies the knowledge better than typing. You can check that out online. It has been proven. Some people when they are reading, all they do is mark, mark, mark. When you are writing, it's better. Also, you have to ask questions. Look, an author. I've written 3 books, so I'm an author. I'm a human being. I have my biases, I have my personal experiences, whether they were valid or not. When I'm writing a book on a subject matter, it's also going to reflect like that. Exact point I wanted to get. It's going to reflect like that. So people can write stuff in a book and they are not true. So ask questions. Ask questions. Very, very important. You must ask questions. So these are the things that you do during. Let's talk about the things that you do after in order to beat this same forgetting curve. What are some of the things that you will have to do after? Summarization. You can read a chapter of say 500 words and then you summarize it in 50. Summarize it in 50. So that when you read the 50, you can remember the 500. And then look for a way to teach what you have learned. Somebody should help me type in the comment section. Help me type in the comment section. Teaching is learning twice. Teaching is learning twice. Help me type that. Once I see that, I will know that you are following. You can hear me. Thank you, Mujid, alhamdulillah. Thank you, President. Yeah, it's a lake Saturday. Thank you. Teaching is learning twice. Thank you, Joy Chiku. Happiness in the BC. Richard Gregory, thank you. Temitayo, thank you. When you are teaching somebody, you are learning all over again. Sometimes, if you really want to know that you have learned something, go ahead and teach somebody. When I talk to my students in secondary school, those of them that want to carry first, that are hoarding information, I tell them that look, you are hurting yourself. You're not helping yourself. When you teach your classmates, you are learning twice. In fact, you will discover so many things that you thought you knew that you actually needed more information on. They will ask you questions that you did not capture. I'm seeing all your responses, so it's just that I need to move on. Thank you for those responses. It means that we are together and you are learning. So don't tell me that, oh, I'm reading a book and I don't have anybody to teach. It's not possible in this age of and day of social media. It's not possible. Teach your wife, teach your children, teach your colleagues, teach your friends. Nobody around you, teach it online. Put camera on your face. Oh, I just finished reading this book. So powerful, so great. It talks about this, and that. And then there's spaced repetition. You read the book, you are done, you have your notes, you pick up your notes after 2 days to read, after another 2 days to read, to go through it again. You're trying to solidify that knowledge. So these are the things you do before, during, and after in order to beat this forgetting curve. So let's talk about four simple ways to connect what you are reading to what you already know. These are some of the things that you need to do to remember. If you are going to remember stuff, you must learn how to connect something that you are just learning to something that you already know. You are reading a book on finance, a particular chapter is talking about savings. Already you have some information about saving. Maybe it's a matter of principle. You have read somewhere before that you should save at least 20% of your total income. You have that information already. Ask yourself, what are the things that I already know about this subject? What does this subject or topic remind me of? And then use real life examples. Savings, how does the government save? How does corporate organization, how do private individual save? Talk to yourself. Yes, talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. When I'm done reading a chapter, I close it. I begin to think. I look at my notes, begin to think about some things. Sometimes I can be muttering and I'm alone. I am okay. That's part of the things that you need to do to connect what you just read to something that you already know. Then turn complex ideas into something simpler and familiar. I like things that are done or that are easy to understand. I don't need to speak big grammar in order for me to prove that I know something. All right, so we are still talking solution now. Tips to staying focused on the material while you're reading. Set a clear goal before you start. I've already talked about that. Remove distraction. Please let me know in the comment section what is your greatest source of distraction. Go ahead and drop it in the comment section. I want to know what's your greatest source of distraction. Is it your children? Is it your work? Is it social media? Please, I want to know. Notifications, yeah, Joy Chuku. Scrolling on social media, work. You know why we ask that question? God will say, my wife, let her catch you. Don't scroll it. Thinking of what to cook. Noisy environment, telephone calls. Tunde Adekunle, I'm seeing you for the first time, sir. Personal needs. Ah, very correct, Veoluwa. We think about the challenge, the things that you need. Somebody said, the question, the first question I ask is on the street interview. The first question I ask is, how many books have you read this year? Guy said none. I said, why? And I say he has to hustle. He has to hustle. You're welcome, Mr. Tunde. He has to hustle so that he'll be able to meet up. I said, wow, 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 wow. I took our time to talk to him because he also will only work when it is done with wisdom. President Tech said unrealized goals. That can be really frustrating. Set goals, you're not achieving them. Now, is there any need for me to still keep pushing? If you set a goal and you are not hitting that goal, there's a gap between you and what you want to achieve. 70, 80, 90% of the time, it's a knowledge gap. Yes, Mr. Shegun said, thinking of how to meet all your needs, baby. Now, the question I asked people on the interview yesterday, on the street interview, how are you going to meet these needs without gaining more knowledge? Because your inability to meet these needs is hindering you from hitting target. What's the difference between somebody that is doing 1 million naira and $1 million in a month? It's not something that they know. Someone that they know. You need to know something in order for you to do better. So you must remove every form of distraction. If you have decided, let's say you have 24 hours in a day, you have decided to use 30 minutes to study, 1 hour to study, 60 minutes. Man, you need to throw yourself all in. Because you have another 23 hours to do any other thing you like to do. Read in small chunks. Hey, Coach Harry said he read for 2 hours. You want to go and join. Well, I not be reading before. What should you do? Simple. Read for 20 minutes, rest for 5 minutes, read for another 20. So you have so sharpened your memory to pick me out as I'm coming. I'm trying to see your comment to pick me out as the first time among the lot. Yeah, 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 yeah. Later I saw your face, I could tell that this is a first timer. You're welcome once more. So read for 20 minutes, rest for 5 minutes, another 20 minutes, rest for 5 minutes, another 20 minutes, rest for 5 minutes. You have done 1 hour. That's how it works. So use active reading techniques also. There's what we call SQR3. You survey, you ask questions, read, review, and revise. Somebody should type SQR3 for me. Majid Hamdallah said you need to know something for you to get what you want. Yes, everything you need is within reach. Everything you need is within reach. It's available. You need a jet. Thank you, Mr. Leke. Thank you, River of Testimony. So SQR3 stands for survey, question, read, review, revise. It's a reading technique. Vary your reading speed, though. Coach I is a speed reading expert does not mean that anytime I'm reading fast. There's something you bump into, you will just calm down. So there's when to read fast and there's when to also calm down and read slowly. Practice mindfulness. So people will stay like their book is open, they are looking at it, but their mind is in something else. You must learn how to be present. Social media is causing a lot of barriers with human interactions. You're with somebody. You left your house to go and visit somebody. You now got there. Both of you are pressing. Thank you, Mr. Tunde, for writing it out. Be present. Take short breaks and stretch. Use the 5 minute rule. Set a reading environment. Some of us don't have reading environments. I'm embarking on a project before the end of this year. I want to ensure that every home has a library, no matter how small it is. You see this reading thing, according to our local balance here in Port Harcourt, I carry them for head. You must read your book. Personal growth and transformation is at the foundation of every other thing that you want to achieve. If you are not growing, you are dying. You are not living. Anything that doesn't grow dies. You are meant to grow. You are meant to be better. You are meant to improve. Stop saying this is the way I am. I've entered I've entered another realm now. Temita said I should come again. I can't remember what I don't know what you need more information on. She type I'll come again. Is there any point I made? You want me to make that point again? Just type. There's a place I love in the Bible. It says an heir. So long as he's a child, so long as he's a child, will remain under tutors until the time appointed of the father. Hey, a child, an heir, sorry, an heir, so long as he's a child, will remain under tutor and governors until the time appointed of the father. The heir is the inheritor, the possessor of all the inheritance of the father. But because he's still a child, he will never enter into it. Oh, I read that thing years ago. My head wanted to scatter. You are a king, no matter how you love that your prince. What happens? You are going to make sure that he's well groomed, well trained, well ready before you pass over before you pass over the baton to him. That's exactly what we are talking about. Okay, I said personal growth and transformation is at the foundation of everything you want to manifest. You say you're a leader. One book on leadership you have not read for the past 12 months. How are you leading? You're a business person, an entrepreneur. One book on sales you have not read. Ew. God will say it's not good that man should stay without knowledge. This place is in the Bible, Proverbs 19 to check it out. Nevertheless, it is not good that a man's soul should be without knowledge. Very powerful scripture. I read another scriptures in the book of Proverbs in the Bible. It says, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing. It is the honor of kings to search it out. I love that one. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's why I like reading my Bible. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing. It is the honor of kings to search it out. That simply means that reading is for nobles. Reading is for nobles. Okay, if you leave me now, I'll start preaching Bible. Let me get back here. But I want to hope that those scriptures are quoted. You got something. There's another place I like. It says, my people what? They perish because of what? Lack of knowledge. My people, my own people, my own people, my own children. That word perish does not mean that they die or they disappear. Oh. The word perish means they lose dignity, lose color, lose their essence because they lack knowledge. So you need to have Chidera shall to speak. Chidera, don't allow me to speak so that I don't enter another realm now. Don't allow me to speak. Some people don't have a reading environment. You don't have. This thing I'm saying is not, don't say, Kochari, you don't understand. I stayed in a self-contained. When I was in a self-contained, I had one corner of my room where I have my reading table and chair. See my phone. Then one corner is for my reading table and chair. That's what I could afford that time. When I was in my former place, it was a two-bedroom flat. My library was in my own personal room. When we moved into where we are now, it's a three-bedroom flat. I converted one of the room to my space. After here now, we move into our own property. I will have like two different spaces. One will be my thinking room. The other will be my study room. I do my thinking and my studying here, but I'm going to have two different rooms for that. Oribos, what about those staying in one room? That's what I just said. That one room apartment, self-contained. Ah, if I turn this camera now, you will see the table and the chair I was using before in my days of little beginnings. Are you seeing it? That's my table and chair. I've had that for more than 10 years now. So yeah, that's how it works. So just be at one corner. We don't reach lying down on our bed so that we don't sleep. Sit down at your reading table, open the book and start reading. When you do that, you pass a special message to your brain that you're about to do something that is very important. Reward yourself for staying focused. After this live, I'm going to watch a movie. Today is Monday. The things I said, say I love the move of every home having a library. I will support. Thank you, Temitayo follower. Thank you, Temitayo follower. So the idea is simple. We are going to come up with a budget of say 100, 150, 200,000, 300,000, 500,000, 1 million, depending on the finance of this family. Depending on the finance. Thank you, Godwin. I like the fact that you guys are interacting with me and there's no noise. You're using your chat. So I'm seeing your chat, I'm responding. That's beautiful. It means that you understand our housekeeping rules here. So different budget for different families. That 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 move is also going to accommodate the shelf itself. So we're not just buying books and giving you, we're also ensuring that you have a good shelf where you can put those books. It's going to be a very strong drive. We're working towards the whole modality. I'm not a carpenter or a furniture person, but we have to look for someone that can supply those furnitures to different levels, different sizes. Then we go ahead with the books. So anytime you meet up your reading target, please try and reward yourself, enjoy yourself. A lot of people are unable to do that. So there are some apps, for apps and tools for memory, Anki is for space repetition, Quizlet, Google Doc. I use it a lot. I use Forest also. There's Notion. I'm not using Notion, but I've heard a lot of good reviews from the top coaches that I'm following about Notion. Pocket helps you to save and revisit articles. Then we have the Pomodoro timer. The Pomodoro technique is what I mentioned earlier. You read for 20 minutes, rest for 5 minutes. So this Pomodoro timer has a way of reminding you that, oh, you have been reading for 20 minutes, and then informs or instructs you to go rest for 5 minutes. That's how it works. So remember, I promised this about the last aspect. I promised I was going to teach how to remember stuff, people's name, how to remember where you kept stuff, how to remember your script for public speaking. So if you are going to remember people's names, these are the things that you should do. Be genuinely interested in the person. If you meet with someone and you want to remember the person's name again, take interest in the person. Let something about the person interest you. Then pay attention when you first hear the name. Hello, my name is Harry. What's your name? The person say, my name is Sandra. Pay attention. Let's say, oh, my name is Ikechukwu. You say, oh, that's beautiful. Please, what's the meaning of that name? The person will tell you. You are doing something, you are trying to remember the person's name again later. Then you repeat the name. Oh, Ikechu, nice meeting with you. Then as you're having the conversation, keep mentioning that name in the confirmation, in the conversation. Oh, Ikechukwu, what do you think about it? Keep using the person's name. Then you can associate the name with something or someone that is also familiar. I went to teach in a school. I went to teach in a school. There are about 25 students in that particular class, and asked them their names, and they told me their names. One person told me that her name was Bianca. When you say Bianca, I say, oh, in my mind, I can never forget your name. Because I remember Bianca Ojuku. So once I'm seeing that lady, that young girl in my class, I'm just remembering Ojuku's wife. One other one other guy's name is Tony. That one is impossible to forget. Why? Because my brother's name is Tony. So when I look at that guy, I'm just seeing my brother. And that guy's name is David. So I know David and Goliath in the Bible. So you associate that name, you associate that name with someone that you already know that's familiar. So you can also make a name connection with a personality type. In your mind, let's say the person is a talker. Person name is Sandra. You just say Sandra in your mind, is Sandra the talker. If, for instance, person has told you the name and you guys have been talking for a while and you forget, you can ask again. Yeah, you can also use technology to help. You store people's name and all of that. So that's how you remember people's name. Let's talk about how to remember script for public speaking. You have a speaking engagement like I did on Saturday. At the TEDx event. It's better to speak and you are not using a note. You break the script into small chunks. How do you do that? Bring out the 7 major points you want to talk about. Introduction, point one, point two, point three. That is how you break it into small chunks. Practice out loud or repetition. I wish I was in my parlor. I will have shown you my mirror. I have a very big Ogboni mirror. One of my friends came to my house and said, this your mirror is very big. Oh. Are you sure you're not an Ogboni man? Just joking. Very big mirror. So I stand in front of it and I practice. Use visualization. See yourself speaking on the stage. See people laughing and all of that. Or just nodding their head. Or standing up, giving you a clap ovation. Or even screaming. Use mnemonic devices such as acronyms to remember stuff. If you're a music person, you can use rhymes and all of that. Writing the script by hand also helps. I've already mentioned that before. Record yourself before that day, record yourself and listen to your own voice. Practice in different environments, especially where the training or your public speaking is going to take place. Teach somebody else. Use cue cards for bullet points. There's this small card in case you don't want to carry laptop or big paper. Just put your major points on that small card and you can be using it to remind yourself. Sleep on it. So some people have an event, say tomorrow. They won't do anything today until tomorrow. They will not start. No. Do all your preparation today and go and sleep. You get better results. Then stay calm and relax on your day of presentation. If you want to remember where you kept stuff, number one, create a designated spot for everything. I cannot look for my wedding ring. It's not possible. I can't look for my car key. It's not possible. All these things, there's a particular place that I actually keep them. You can use visual cues. You can label everything. Make sure that your environment is actually organized. Then, like I already said before, practice mindfulness. Then, if you want to remember important events, use a calendar. I use Google Calendar. Create associations to what you already know. Set multiple reminders. This live session has one reminder, but I can decide to set multiple ones to remind myself. Visualize the event. I've already talked about that. Use a journal or diary. Very important too. That works. Stay organized. Create a physical reminder. Review past events to strengthen the future memory. So this is my last slide. I get to talk about key science proven principles for learning. One is the principle of attention. If you are going to remember stuff, you have to pay attention. The principle of association. Connect what you are trying to learn to something you already know. Spaced repetition. Don't write the note and drop it. Read it the next day. Read it the next day. Read the next day. Active engagement. Active learning. Then the principle of elaboration. Try and explain that thing that you just learned to somebody else. I hope I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that you have the ability to remember as much as you want. All right, so before I let us go, or before I take questions, I have an amazing offer for those of us that are on this live. People who are not on this live, they might not have access to it. I'll just leave it open. Those that are not here also, I'll drop the replay, but there will be a deadline. So this offer I'm mentioning is just for the first 10 persons. You are here, you are not comfortable with you're not comfortable with your reading so far. You're asking yourself, oh, after I've been in this platform, but I've not been following up with everything that is happening. So this is your moment. I'll be giving you our speed reading program, basic and what's it called? Basic and advanced. Yeah, I'm trying to open it. Please hold on. Oh. Make sure you don't leave so that you don't miss out on this amazing offer. Okay, yeah, I remember now. Okay, I want to show you what you will see in the speed reading online course. So this is the basic, especially if you have not done the basic before. It has about 8 modules. You're going to learn study habits of success people. These are the elements of that module. You will learn the limitless model, how to make yourself or anyone else do anything or achieve anything. If you have the right mindset, motivation, and method about anything, you can achieve anything. Then module three, you are going to learn how to create an enabling environment for learning. These are the learning elements. Then I'll teach you speed reading, how to read books faster with better comprehension and retention. Then we'll also have what we call boost your memory power, how to remember what you read. Now, let me share this with you in case you enjoyed tonight's session. Tonight's session is, you see, there's boost your memory power here in the basic speed reading program. I taught what I did tonight from the advanced speed reading program. So you are going to see boost your memory power too when we get there. So you understand human memory, common memory problems, general reasons why we forget. This is what we do in the basic. Then strategic documentation of thoughts, note taking and note making. Module 7 talks about how you learn, understanding how you learn. Everybody is expected to learn, but we all don't learn the same way. Then how to deal with distraction and procrastination. And of course, there are some bonuses that come with that basic. You get certified as a speed reader. After you have practiced, you can train other people. Bonus two, you get the 45-page document that I will use for the entire training. Bonus three, you get my 3 books on reading. Then you also get my top 250 books from my personal development library. You get it for free. I'll give you 250 books to read. I'll give you 20 videos to watch on the subject of reading. Then I'll recommend very good apps to you. Very good apps for speed reading and 5 audiobook YouTube channels where you can listen to books instead of reading them. They can also expect express access after training for continuous support, inspiration, and motivation. So yeah, basically that's what the speed reading online course is. Let me take you to let me take you to the advanced course for speed reading. I want to take you to the advanced. It's coming up. Oh. So what I just showed you is the basic. We also have the advanced. We have the advanced. Please hold on. Oh. In the advanced, you will see boosting memory power too. You will see speed reading also too. We took it to another level in the advanced speed reading program. All right, it is coming up now. It is coming up. I want you to see the advance. Something is wrong. I don't know why my screen is frozen. Please, you can type me. If you can hear me, please just type yes. I need to be sure you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Your screen just appeared just now.
Oh, can you hear me now, please? My mic was muted for whatever reason. I don't know. Can you hear me now? Type yes. Type yes. Thank you. I've unmuted it now, Mr. Leke. If you can hear me now, type yes. Oh, thank you, thank you. Please, what did you hear last, so that I will know where to continue? So we are in the mental mastery and high performance because it's part of what we're also going to be giving you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can see your comments that you can now hear me. I can see it very, very well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, I was saying that the mental mastery and high performance course we have, it's a 30-day program. Every day we are live. Everything is recorded, so you have access to it. So here we have, um, 30 days. 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 We have week one. Week one is focused on identity and my identity mindset and mental reset. So yeah, we talk about your new identity. You need to begin to see yourself as a learner. Don't be among those people. Say I have I don't used to remember stuff. When I read, I don't remember. I'm easily distracted and da. Those are the that's how you have been seeing yourself before, and that's how you have been talking. So if you are going to get better results, you have to start thinking about yourself differently. It's also better results. You must know your deep why. Why what why do you want to even start reading books in the first place? What will you do for you? You must break limiting beliefs. There's a power of curiosity. The people that learn are people who like to ask questions. Then there's a place for self-confidence. Then we have mental laziness. I won't be able to go through the entire 30 days because it's actually long. But week two is focused on habits transformation. How do we get rid of old and bad habits and form new ones? That's what week two is talking about. Then week three is talking about learning system, retention, and execution. That's what that is talking about. And then week four is talking about application, application, application. So you are going to be getting these three different programs. Last month we had a program. It's called the AI Employee Builder Circle. So many of us are entrepreneurs. We are business people. You need to learn how to employ digital staffs that will do the work even better than the people that are working with you physically, so that you can free yourself and do some very important things. After I went through that course, in fact, for a while now, I've not really used my graphic designer because I created a digital staff that creates the graphic design for me. I learned how to use Notebook LM for learning. It has been amazing. So that's what the mental mastery and high performance course is all about. Then I'll be giving you 1 year mentorship. We have our Speed Readers Inner Circle where we train students to read one book, two books every month. Two books every month. And people pay 10,000 naira to be in that group, 10,000 monthly subscription. In a year, they get to pay 100,000 instead of 120. So tonight, Coach Harry is giving you all of these things for 100,000 naira only. And it's just for 10 people. Just for 10 people. I announced this on our platform last week, and two people already took advantage of it. So we have 8 more slots to go. If there's something that interests you, all you need to do is to send a DM after now to receive the account details, and then you make that payment. You are also here, you don't have the 100K complete, but you can do 50% now. Also send a DM. I'm giving you my 1 year mentorship program. I'm giving you the mental mastery, which is a 30 days program. I'm giving you our speed reading, both basic and advanced, and of course, our AI course. You go through that course, you learn how to leverage on AI to read books and even with better comprehension. All right, so that will be it for tonight, except if anybody has a question. If you have a question, all you need to do is just raise your hand. I'll call your name. If I see no hands up, it means everything was clear. All right, so I'm not seeing any hand up. It means that everything discussed was clear. Okay, Majid, Hamdallah, please go ahead. Unmute your mic and speak, madam.
Good evening, Coach. Good
Good
evening,
evening,
everyone.
welcome.
Good evening, welcome. Yes, sir, thank you. So I want to ask about the digital marketing class, the one
Okay,
with
you need more.
the one you.
You
Okay, you
need
need
more.
more. You need more. No, like the upcoming session, upcoming class that is
Okay,
35,000. Okay, is it
okay? The digital
okay?
marketing
The
course.
digital marketing course. Yes, sir. Is
Okay, so that one is
there any?
happening.
Okay, so that one is happening. When, sir?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I thought you
Is
wanted
there
to ask a
any
question.
yes, is there any reduction for we students, inner circle students?
Hey, it's
Hey, it's
35,000.
35,000.
You know that course. You
You know
can
that,
see
that
that
course, you can see that
I'm collaborating with
I'm
somebody on
collaborating
that
with
course.
somebody on that. I know, and that will make it a little bit difficult if it is only we
It's
and
only me
tertiary.
now.
It's only me now. We do it.
Exactly, exactly,
Exactly,
exactly.
exactly, exactly. Right,
So,
then,
but
no
that
problem. So,
that
but
course is
that,
usual.
that course
That
is
course
usual.
is actually
That course is actually
50,000,
50,000,
but it's giving it for
but it's
thirty-five
giving it for
thousand for my
35,000 for
community.
my community.
That's
Okay.
why I can't go back
That's
to him.
why I can't go back to him. You know,
So you need
we
to
that
learn.
we've done you need to learn. There is this course that is related to it. That personal learning. I've even forgotten the name of my
Is it the
course.
personal
Is it
branding
the
course?
personal branding course? And we needed to. That you said our tutor went for PhD course or something. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where we were also. So I think it's related. That's why I'm interested in the course. That okay, let me just so that we really know what is going on there.
Yes, it's really going to
Yes,
be
it's really
worth your
going to be
time.
worth your time.
Um, it's
Um,
not just teaching
it's not just
Meta.
teaching
It's also going
Meta.
to be
It's
teaching
also going to
TikTok.
be
TikTok
teaching
is
TikTok.
blowing up
TikTok is
now.
blowing up now. I think the one
So
we were waiting for was only Facebook adverts.
exactly. So yeah, we
Exactly.
learn
So
Facebook,
yeah, we learn
Instagram,
Facebook,
and also TikTok.
Instagram, and also
So
TikTok.
you send a
So
DM.
you
Once you
send a
sign up, we'll
DM.
add
Once
you
you
to the
sign up,
group.
we'll add you to the group. All right, sir.
That offer
That
of 35K,
offer
give
of
it for the first
35K, give
10
it for
people,
the first 10
and there are
people,
already eight
and there are
persons there
already
now.
8 persons there now. Okay,
So you
sir.
jump on
Thank
it.
you. So you jump on it.
All right, thank you so much. I'm
All
going
right,
to
thank
end
you so
this
much. I'm going
recording
to end
now,
this recording now,
and then I'll just
and
call it
then
a
I'll
night
just call
because
it
I
a
have a
night
movie
because
to
I have a
watch.
movie to watch.